Okay, so welcome to part 3 of Being Petty. Today's focus is on Ira Wendagoth from Critical Role, aka the Nightmare King. I was suspicious about this character, but there wasn't enough to definitively say whether this character was plagiarizing my work. Because if anyone on here hasn't read my book, I do have different chapters where one chapter is the suspected plagiarism and another one is known. And the difference between suspected and known is how specific the details are, how much information was taken about a particular thing. And there just wasn't enough on Ira Wendagoth as a character to have me definitively say this is known plagiarism. But there was enough for me to be like, this is suspicious. And recent episodes confirmed to me that Ira Wendagoth takes some contribution from my unseelie king and my seelie queen. So my major problem is that with this character is that it goes against my intentions. There are two intentions that I had when creating these characters. So, background information for people who don't know. Fae, or a word that you're more familiar with, fairies, they are categorized into two main groups, usually. And one group is called the seelie, the other group is called the unseelie. What these words mean, at the most simple. Seelie means, well, not means, but what they refer to. Seelie refers to the light fae. Unseelie refers to the dark fae. But truthfully, fae can be any creature attached to anything. You have fae who are attached to nature. You have fae that are attached to civilization. You have fae attached to death. You have fae attached to life. It goes on from there. Whatever fae that you have, there is going to be an equal and opposite fae. So like the sun, there's going to be the moon. So there's always going to be an opposite. And the idea of the opposites in regards to the fae, at least my understanding, is balance. The fae are incredibly balanced in regards to magic. And my whole portrayal of the fae is that they have strayed from what they once were. So the kingdoms are becoming far more corrupted than prosperous as they were initially. And part of the contribution to that is the seelie queen. She's not solely responsible, but she is definitely contributing to the corruption. And so one intention I had, because my work is trying to explore the word black, is to at times move these this intention, because if you pay attention to a lot of art, evil is often attached to black or darkness. So I was trying to subvert that in regards to the conflict surrounding the fae. So I was actually, because usually in this situation, it would be the unseelie king that's the problem. Or not even the unseelie king. The unseelie monarch would be the problem, and the seelie monarch may be helpful, maybe. But I subverted that and made the Seelie Queen the ruler of the Light Fae the problem. Not that the Unseelie King is necessarily... Well, I wouldn't say he is worse. But he has done some things. But he has actually paid for his crimes. That's the huge difference between them. He has actually paid for his crimes. Seelie Queen, she hasn't been held accountable for anything. So I am greatly offended with Critical Role because they undid my subverts. It's like, if they had wanted to just do their own thing, fine. But because they used my work and went against that first intention right there, it's like I just don't have any nice words to say about that. The second thing is that, again, going back with the Unseelie King having been imprisoned. Well, I didn't say imprisoned, I said punished. He had paid for his crimes. But yes, he faced imprisonment. He was imprisoned for about 600 years in a mirror. And glass prisons are torture to the Fae. And the reason why mirrors are... It's not just mirrors, glass. Glass is prison to the Fae because they are free-spirited creatures. They do believe in freedom. So trapping a Fae inside a mirror is torture. The closest I can give an example of what kind of torture this is that it's like solitary confinement, but it's worse than that. And it's like, it actually drives the Fae crazy. It drives the trapped Fae insane. And he had experienced that for 600 years. Just about. But my intention was actually to make him go through a redemption route. Because I was just tired of these lackluster, poor quality redemption arcs and moments. And it's like, I have truly grown up to be this kind of person who's like, I don't care about how you feel that led up to what you did. I care about whether you learned your lesson and you're going to seek on being a better person and what actions you are doing right now to do that. That's what I care about. And so that's my approach to the Unseelie King, because he has done some awful things in his past. And in his present, he has been greatly humbled. His best friend is dead. His wife, who he made his queen, is dead. And let me digress on this point. So the way that royalty works is that just because you marry a monarch doesn't necessarily mean that you will be an equal monarch. It may be that you will be a consort. So a consort is like a step below a monarch. Basically, you are the married spouse to your monarch spouse. And that's all. It's all about power. So if you make... So if you marry a monarch and they make you an equal ruler, then you're both sharing power, and you're supposed to be the same level. But if you are made a consort, you still have power, but in terms of who's ruling the country, the nation, it's going to be the spouse. So the Unseelie King, he made his wife not a consort. He made her his queen. So that right there should let you know how important she was to him. So yeah, she's dead. um, his son, who he last saw as a baby, is now 10 years old because time is different in Fairy. I will say that Critical Role did not take that detail because it's just, well, maybe they did take it from my work, but the thing is, it cannot necessarily be counted as plagiarism because the concept of time being wonky with the Fae realm, that's actually from the lore. It's, if you go into the Fae realm and come out, time is going to be a whole lot different than you expect. Whole lot different. You could go in there, come out, you're still the same, but the world is changed because it's been 5 years. It may have been a week. It may have been a month. It may have been 1,000 years. You know, but then there's the other side where you go in and you actually age, but you come out and no, there has been no difference in time at all since you went in. So they may have actually gotten that detail from my work, but it is a concept that is part of the lore when it comes to the Fae. Like, you can look it up. It's a popular concept. But yeah, so the Unseelie King is going on a redemption arc because I wanted to show, like, this is how you make a redemption arc. And it's like the way that they have Ira Wendagoth is like, how are you even going to make a redemption, like, if you guys even intend to make a redemption arc with this character, how are you going to do that? I don't know what their intention is. Like, it could be that he's just a villain. But yeah, he's not coming off as a good guy. While my character, the Unseelie King, is actually more, is more empathetic. I mean, you learn about, you understand some things about him in the beginning of Mischief, because the prologue is supposed to be basically this whole story that describes the Unseelie King's relationship with my main character, Imogen's mother. So yeah. So yeah, they went against two of my intentions. It's like, if they had done their own work, their intentions would be fine. But using my work and twisting things up, not okay with that. Not okay with that at all. But we're getting close to the end of this video, so I'm actually going to end this right here. But yeah, the fourth one is going to be a little bit more emotional. But you'll see why. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you wonderful people next time.